And we are Diary of a Family. And we're going to have a great live stream today with you. And I'm Madison.
Hey everybody, I'm Garrett.
And I'm Carolyn.
And we're Diary of a Family.
We're living life intentionally with you.
Hope you like that little intro there from our kids.
Lego short.
Lego short. It was like 20 seconds long.
Well, we've got a lot of people in the house. Grassroots Living. Hey, we are so glad you're in the house because you have so much experience with work camping and earning money while you're living full time. Hope Marks has also joined. Hello. We are excited for you to be here because you guys have just entered that market of work campers, semi sort of retired. RV Kids TV is also here as well. We are so excited for you guys to join our live stream.
Yeah, it's been a really, really crazy week, but we really felt that our video on Wednesday really kind of hit.
Yeah, and a lot of you responded, asked questions, answered questions. It's up there in views and clicks. I mean, obviously people have questions about work camping. So we wanted to continue that topic.
Yep.
And we'll give you a little update on what's going on with our family. Multiple doctor's visits. Audio is a little low. Did you fix that for them?
Yes.
Perfect.
They could also turn their TV up.
Yeah, you could. No, we'll make sure our audio is up. Also, we are on Park Wi-Fi. We are dropping some frames. We haven't had any internet problems yet, but I mean, I crashed through all of my data on my phone, and we're out on our hotspot. We tried Garrett's data on his phone, and it's not as great. Great speeds going out, so we're probably best here. But we are recording.
We're doing good.
We're recording, so if we drop something, we'll upload that for all of you viewing it now.
So if you haven't guessed, most of our video will be work camping, or how do you make a living on the way, or how do you make a living on the road while you're traveling, while you're exploring America. And we have some experience with it, and a lot of people here also have experience. So if you have any questions regarding either what we do for a living or whether what you want to do for a living, let us know in the chat, and we will definitely answer that and see if anybody in the chat with us will be able to answer it if we can't.
X marks the spot, says it's not their TV. Volume's all the way up. RV Kids tells us we need Nomad internet. Ooh. What is Nomad internet and how expensive is it?
That's our main problem right now.
That's our main problem. The expense of internet. It's just, do you know how much we put out on cell phone and internet bills? Between the two phones.
It's about $200 a month.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's a little less than half of what we pay for insurance. So.
Yeah.
Ouch! All these bills, you guys. Bills.
Yep. And how is your RV tech going?
Okay, put on your hat. So he's got to change hats when he talks RV tech.
Okay.
There we go.
Well, we are in the process of setting up the business.
We did some stuff yesterday.
We've been getting stuff done for a while now, but we just filed for our what's called DBA, which is our RV business, the business name that we have picked for our new business, and that's where you can find us, and that's where we'll get our work done to help you guys out. We have most of the tools I think that we need. The only thing I don't really have is the parts, the replacement parts and things like that. So if it's a small fix, if it's a fuse that goes out, I could probably fix it right away. However, if it's like a burnt out like hot water heater,
needing
electric
a
coil,
part or an actual,
I'll have to order it. But we plan on staying in an area for enough time to be able to get work done. So we get things going. We get the parts ordered. We get it fixed for them. And then probably I'll start trying to stockpile parts, especially the more common things, so that it can be an easy fix.
So we haven't gone into setting up insurance yet, which I know is important when you're working on your own. You want to make sure that you're covered so if something happens. We are working on setting up accounts at bank, having to have a business account. You've got to have that.
Yep.
So there's just a lot of pieces that are still in the air. But we're ready to start working on friends rigs. When it comes to the actual public and people that we don't know, we're not quite ready for that.
But we have our business cards ordered. Mm-hmm. We have our yard sign ordered. Ginormous. Probably is the biggest one they had. I don't know why we picked that one, but
I don't know why you picked it. I said you don't need it. It would be easier to transport a smaller one.
Vehicle
magnets, yeah.
Hello, Jeffrey Weasel. He said first timer here. Wessels?
I like that you called him Weasel.
If no offense needed, if that's not how it's pronounced, I'm very sorry. First timer here. He is going through the home course at the NRVTA right now.
Awesome! That's great.
One thing we are doing, if you're going through that course right now, is we are updating all the videos and all the classes in the home study course.
Yeah.
So if you actually are going through the regular course, eventually you'll probably get access to a lot of all
those videos,
updated videos.
That'll be good.
But yes, welcome here. We are definitely welcome. Get that all the time. I'm sorry.
I corrected him. I hope I said it right.
I don't even know if we said it. But yeah.
I think it looks like Wessels.
Yeah. It sounds better.
Xmark says they spend over $200 for phone and hotspot. Yeah, ours is about $200.
We have three.
But we don't have very much data on our hotspot either.
The hard part is so many companies, they want to limit the amount of data you can use, and then even people that had grandfathered in no throttled internet are finding their hotspots are just randomly being shut down.
Not cool.
Not cool
So at all.
Until we find something that is very decent and that will fit our budget, and I mean once we start having a really consistent income coming in, we'll be able to sit down and be like, okay, what can we do to upgrade our internet? Because if we're doing more travel on the road, we need to make sure we don't have at least a higher limit. Mm-hmm. So we're not just and we're gone. It's I could probably hold my breath and we could use up the data in the time it takes to hold a breath.
Probably pretty quick. So I was looking. Grassroots Living says the sound looks good. Sound is good, so I'm glad that that's fixed now. RV Kid says I'm getting it free. Did you already read that? I'm sorry.
No.
They're getting their internet through Nomad Internet for free because they use their referral program. So that's pretty cool. So you refer other people and then get free. I assume you get some free internet along the way. Oh, our internet is acting up a little bit here.
Feel free to send us that information. We'd be kind of interested in it.
Yeah.
Grassroots Living says, can you install a soft start on our truck camper while we are in Quartzsite? Yes, I can.
Yes, we can get that ordered for you.
Did you need it ordered or do you have one already?
Oh yeah,
that's the question.
If you order it yourself.
If you have it already, then I can just easily install it for you.
Yeah. And you don't need a special soft start per what kind of unit, right? It's just one soft start.
So what the soft start does is it's a capacitor for your for the compressor in the AC unit.
But what I mean is you don't have to have a different type.
It's called a smart capacitor. Mm-hmm. So it learns after about 6 times of using that specific AC unit what needs to be sent out and received as far as the capacitor, and then it adjusts it.
That's pretty cool.
Accordingly.
So it doesn't matter what unit you put it on, what brand.
Yes,
it'll work type.
It'll work on any brand. Whereas if I need to change out a capacitor, I need to know exactly what type of microfarads and how And exactly,
don't get too deep. Some of the people on our channel don't want to go that deep. They want to just hire the tech to come change out their capacitors, whatever those are. It sounds like flux capacitor from Back to the Future. I love it. I love it.
They say it's $129 a month for that Nomad internet, but if you do a review in your channel and they offer a referral code in the description, you get 5 referrals. Cool. And you have free internet.
Really? That's cool. We'll have to check it out.
We'll definitely check it out. Can you use any like the the jetpacks that everyone has, or does it come with one, or how does that work?
We'll have to look into it and research it a little bit. And there's always, it's always nice to do new videos on new products and
exactly.
Yeah.
Going Green Mom is here.
Hi.
It's the first time.
And Nursing Our Travel Bug jumped in too and said, "Hey."
Hey.
Hey.
Hey. How's your forearm workout, Bill?
Oh yeah.
He showed me pictures of what they were doing today on their rig. And
it was tough on the forearms.
Yeah.
But he's probably doing a video on it, so we'll just shut up. We don't want to spill the beans.
Yep. The Grassroots Living says that they spend less than $100 on internet and phone using Verizon. However, we are grandfathered in on a Verizon package that is no longer offered.
That's what I was thinking.
I had an unlimited plan way back, but I was with AT&T, and then I stopped with AT&T and cut the plan off, and then when I came back, it was no longer offered. So
Yep.
So sad.
I mean, it was at a time in our lives where we had to cut a lot of different finances, and that was one of those that we could suffer in that area at that point and not have good phones and not have good setup. But
I'm always interested in wondering how much internet we went through at our house, because our bill was just one price a month. It was like $80 a month. We had our own routers. We didn't pay any extra cost, and we had cable internet that was blazing fast. And I don't even know how much internet we went through a month, but I'm sure that it would probably dwarf what we have. I mean, we're sitting there like, I don't know.
Oh, Garrett, Hope is asking, when do we find out the name of your business? When do you want to do it? When you show them what we got for yard sign and business card? What do you think? Will we have that by next Saturday's live stream?
It's supposedly shipped.
Okay.
So it's very possible that
we'll do a big reveal next week.
Yeah, we'll do a reveal next week. How's that?
All right. Well, we want to get into our topic for today.
Hello, Posh Cats.
Hello, Posh Cats from across the pond. I have horrible accents. Like, I try to do like Indian accents and Australian accents, and my kids just laugh at me. Mommy, do that funny sound, that funny accent.
Yep. So Grassroots Living is saying that they already have the soft start. So yeah, bring it with you, and we'll do a collab, and we'll put it in for you.
Totally.
Because soft starts are amazing. You can run off a 2,000 watt generator. You should be able to run the AC unit, but it is going to be drawing a lot of power.
A lot of power. You won't be able to run like an Instant Pot at the same time.
Or anything else. Yeah, pretty much just that. So yeah.
And Garrett bought a new ladder, one of those telescoping ones.
Yep.
And I don't know about the truck campers if they can hold a certain amount of weight. So if you guys are like on the ladders working and you need somebody to videotape for videotape purposes,
you could probably just stand.
Because he said, what about doing a collab? I can get up there and videotape. I don't weigh very much.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying.
You could probably stand on their, like the cab of their...
Yeah. Probably. Anyway, so we're going to talk about what you can do. We're going to brainstorm with some of you, what you guys do, or what, give ideas out there to people who are searching for job opportunities. My whole takeaway from a lot of what we are experiencing with going on the road, we went on the road with one type of income.
Yeah. And
now we're seeing that we need multiple, so that if one drops off, you're not feeling the hit so bad as we are right now.
Yep.
So what are some things that we can do as nomad people or people who are, on the road for part of the year? What are some things to bring in some income So again, if you've seen our video from Wednesday, I'm a travel nurse, and that is the sole income that we started with. With COVID, we saw a huge need for finding other streams, and mainly it was because my contract was canceled when we expected 5 more weeks of really good COVID pay.
Holy cow, we were making good money on that
We were
contract.
making good money in Reno, right about April and May. And then in Missouri,
St. Louis, yeah.
I worked my tail off, you guys. Once I got settled in the job, which is about a month,
shift a week.
I was doing an overtime shift a week for about 6 weeks just to
match what we made.
Almost match what we were making.
Yeah.
Because I was only, like, my regular shifts at this hospital was only just barely covering our living expenses. Yeah. And we had just put a lot of money on our credit cards to get the vehicles up and functioning for that trip across from the West Coast to St. Louis. So it's been obvious to us for a while now. We need to diversify.
And we could have just said, you know what, this is how we make money, and we could have just gone to another contract. However, we just kind of, after Reno and after some of the other contracts where Carolyn didn't ever get time to recuperate or rest or anything. We'd go from contract to another contract, and then she would be just, 2 or 3 days off, 4 days off was just never enough for her to recuperate.
We like sitting still for as long as we feel like the area is giving us what we want as a travel family, experiencing things. But then we get itchy and we want to get moving. We want to go, and we can't if we're in the middle of a contract.
Yep.
And like Garrett said, I am awfully tired doing these 12-hour shifts 3 days a week, and then doing overtime shifts to try to make a little bit of bank to pay for things.
Yeah.
It's really tough. Internet again. There we go. It's popping back up. I'm sorry, you guys, about this internet. It's looking good for a little while, and then it drops down. RV Kids TV says I'm getting 29.65 Mbps. How do you say that? Megabytes per second. Upload. That's really good. And then 4.46 download speed.
Yes.
My contracts are usually 13 weeks long. The one we did in St. Louis, we needed to be here in Texas for Garrett's training at a certain time. So it ended up having to be a 12-week contract, and they were flexible. And I've also found that if we need to extend for a week or 2 more, that usually
they'd be willing.
They're very willing to do that as well. But a contract is not set in stone, and they can cancel you at any time. So pretty scary.
Yep.
And during this contract, I had that day or week or so of just like, why am I doing this? I do not like my job.
Yeah.
And I don't want to get to that point in my career that I hate the nursing and just detest going to work. Yep. I want it to be something that I want to do and enjoy doing. So
hello, Jennifer Frey. Hi from across the park.
Well, welcome,
hello.
Jennifer. You should come to our live stream. Come right to the studio.
So Going Green Mom asked, what kind of nursing did you do that you were canceled?
All right. So in that contract, I was hired to a surgical unit, and so medical surgical is my specialty. I have dabbled a little bit in neuro and also in med tele.
Mm-hmm.
So with patients that have heart issues, I can do all the way up to probably PCU level, but I wouldn't be totally comfortable with that. I would have to flex and learn and grow during a contract, and that's what you always do as a nurse. You will always find something that you haven't done. So in this contract, I started at the beginning of April.
Yeah. And
there were 5 patients on a 42-bed unit because there were no surgeries happening. because they had shut everything down
Yep.
to clear hospitals out for COVID, and then they had no patients.
A lot of hospitals across America had this problem
Yeah.
because all of them stopped the elective surgeries.
Yeah.
And then all of them were like, wait a minute, all of a sudden we had no money. And everyone's thinking that we just have to flatten the curve so that the hospitals are not overwhelmed. And they decide, like, I think it had the opposite effect.
I'm going to take care of this. There's a child needing assistance.
Yeah. It is.
Go ahead, continue.
Grassroots Living says it is tough to find work camping jobs that would pay as well as a nurse. That is correct. However, one of the things we need to, like, with a lot of work camping jobs, most likely you have your stay paid for. So we're still paying, $600 a month or so on, our monthly costs staying at a park. So it does kind of hamper in, cost. And a lot of times I think if you don't have, like, we have, 3 kids that we travel with, and we have, lots of things that we're doing, it kind of, the costs go up pretty quick. So if you're, like Grassroots Living or others that have really low costs, then work camping, probably easily pays the bills for you guys. Let's see here. So, Jennifer, you are Kira's mom? Is that what you're saying? I think that's what she's saying. So, that's pretty cool. Grassroots Living says, where are you camp hosting? X marks the spot. Do they get a new... I can't remember. They're between contracts. Hopefully, X marks the spot will be able to get a new contract. If anybody has questions regarding camp hosting, then by all means, ask it in the chat, and I'm sure that either Grassroots Living or X marks the spot would be more than happy to answer that. So the one of the big let's see, Nursing Our Travel Bug said that's the trouble. We would love to work camp and maybe do Amazon together. Our current budget is set for Natasha's travel nurse moolah. Yeah. There's definitely a good money in travel nursing, and depending on where you travel, you can do things like travel to hotspots. They're normally like high-risk contracts, and so you're there for like 6 weeks, for like 8 weeks, something pretty short. But you can make as much as you would make in a normal contract. Now, for kind of my side of it, it is rough a little bit on the kids, because on the days that Carolyn is working, she's gone before the kids get up, and she's coming home after the kids have gone to bed. So mostly the days that that she works, the kids don't ever see mom, and so they're really excited whenever mom has a day off.
And then mom's too tired.
And then when mom is too tired, then
scooch over.
Yeah. Then when mom is too day off, then she's like, I want to go play with the mom, and mom's like,
I just want to sleep. Just let me sleep.
So Jennifer is Kira's mom.
Oh.
So.
Yeah. I didn't know Kira's last name.
Yeah. So she says, I'm trying to find a work camp or camp host spot for next summer. Don't want to be in Texas for the summer.
Texas is hot.
We do not plan on being here during the summertime unless we have some kind of job here. But nothing's set in stone yet with the NRVTA. But I definitely, there's some possibilities that what we're doing could turn into a source of income for us. So.
Is X marks the spot saying that they have an application into Michigan for a work camping job? Is that what's going on there?
Looks like it.
Cool.
One thing I did notice, and
go back. Okay, we're going back in the chat here because
not really. Never too late to RV. So Roger and Tina are here watching.
Awesome. So, very good.
We didn't want to make you feel like you were left out. We did see the comment, but Carolyn was in the zone.
Yeah, and then I had to go avert World War III. I think everything's good now. Everything's calm.
Jennifer said that they'll be here until the end of April.
Good, good. Well, we don't know yet. I mean, our thought was to go to Arizona and then stay in Arizona for a contract, but we may come back here. We don't know yet. It's all up in the air depending on what work looks like. So.
Well, and so much of it also, I don't want to get political, but is really dependent on how things go in the country next year.
Yeah.
Because where do we want to be stuck if
they shut everything down
if they
again?
shut everything down again, like they did, people are trying to say.
Oh my goodness, April, May, it was so miserable to be like, we felt caged in that KOA.
Yeah.
In Reno, it was so tough on us.
Yep.
So we didn't get to explore and travel like we wanted to, but.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, we don't know exactly what our plans are right now. They are still to go to, Quartzsite.
Well, yes.
We're still wanting to go to Quartzsite. However, with how everything is going, we don't know what we'll be doing next.
Yep.
I know that there's stuff going on here, but then we're getting right back into really the hot weather and things like that. But if we're making money,
yeah, we can survive the heat like we did our first summer, because we did a contract in Amarillo for the summer of 2019.
Yeah.
So we survived. We did. It's not fun. It's not what we want to do. We do want to go north in the summertime and south in the wintertime, and that's just tough.
That's one of the reasons why we were really interested and decided to make the sacrifice, because it really has been a sacrifice for us to come here to do this training course.
It's been a blessing, though,
but it's been a blessing, and now we have another means of income, and we'll be with, most of the time we'll be around other people who RV. Yeah. And so, we'll be able to say, hey, do you need help? Do you need work done on your RV? And RV sales have risen, almost 200% from last year?
Oh, yeah. I mean, they can't make RVs fast enough.
No, they can't. 2019, they were saying that we don't know, has the industry, fallen in a slump, and will they ever come back from it, blah, blah, blah. Then 2020 hit, and they're like...
I know. They need to make better units so that more people will want to purchase rigs. So...
Yeah. So, Scott Smith has joined us.
Hi, Scott.
Hello, welcome.
Welcome.
So... They had some conversation going on about being RV Kids TV said they are from Gettysburg, and it was good to be locked down there because it was
There's still hiking to do. Lots of amazing things to explore and see. Yeah, we tried to get out a little bit in Reno. It was just bitterly cold to begin with. And then when it did start warming up, it was like, where else can we go? We wanted to take our trailer somewhere and, move around, and just there was no chance of us getting out of that KOA until we left. So when we were canceled, we did end up going up to Virginia City and for a week, and that was really fun. Yeah. It was
interesting getting our RV in and out of that spot, but we did, and we had fun.
Yeah, it was an itty bitty campground, itty bitty RV park, but we managed our big trailer in there, and it was a really nice place to be.
Yeah, we'll definitely want to. I think if we have time to just travel, it would be fun maybe just to go to Carson City. Yeah. I don't really want. It was fun to take the RV up there, but I'm not sure if I really want to do that whole thing again. But being close.
So Grassroots Living. Pay attention, you guys, to Grassroots Living's comments here. They're giving a lot of good information to Jennifer, who is looking for work camping for the summer. And I see a bunch of information that they're throwing out. Trying Workers on Wheels and workcampingjobs.com. So for those of you watching the replay, you can go in as you're watching the replay and watch the chat. the live chat afterwards. There's a lot of good information in here. So
and there's definitely multiple work camping sites. Mm-hmm. I know Nursing Our Travel Bug did some work camping through the Army Corps of Engineers.
Mm-hmm. There was a comment that Bill put up here earlier, it is very difficult to find a work camping job that corresponds with a nursing contract, which is what they were able to do.
Like in Waco.
In Waco, where he was doing Corps of Engineer and she was doing the nursing.
Well, it paid for their site.
It did. And that's huge. I mean, when you're there monthly, sites can be from 450, 475 all the way up to 700, 750. In Washington, we got our site for 900. Yeah. 900 a month. Don't go to Washington and stay monthly.
So and that was off-season prices for them.
That was off-season
prices. That was 30 amp and water for
not a good RV park to be in, but it was where we wanted to be location-wise. So.
And it was still less than what we were paying mortgage.
So and I mean, when you're thinking work camping jobs and trying to survive financially, looking at your finances and seeing what you can do without. So, like Grassroots Living, they live in a little tiny truck camper and can go boondock somewhere. Yeah. I mean, it's not necessarily what you want to do if you're doing like a fancy job. I mean, it's tough for me when I'm nursing. But I found my ways of the hygienics and staying clean and looking nice for your job. Yep. You can find ways of cutting costs by like your living costs and learning to boondock, or like Bill did, doing Corps of Engineer and paying for their site through that work. Yep. So,
Grassroots Living says, well, hey, you're putting a lot of pressure on us.
Everybody check out Grassroots Living. They do a lot of videos on their work camping jobs, the pluses and the minuses, what they enjoyed, what they didn't enjoy, so that you can kind of get a sense before you even take up one of those jobs. So,
yep. Grassroots Living said they found an RV park last year in December in Yuma, Arizona for $200 a month.
Whoa! I assume not with utilities, but wow, $200 a month. That's
probably
freaking
with utilities.
Good. That's freaking good. $200 a month.
The lowest we ever paid was $375.
Where was that? I thought it was $425 in Texas.
It was in Panhandle, Texas.
Yeah, Panhandle, Texas. I thought it was more like $4.
Well, it was $370. It was $475, and then you had to pay electricity on top of that.
Yeah. John Chalker has joined us. Welcome to the chat. We're talking about work camping, jobs you can do while you're on the road.
Yeah, we might just go to Yuma just for.
Yeah, Yuma might be fun for the winter. So
we did check out Yuma for the hospital there. Yep. And maybe it's possible to do
400 beds.
Yep.
Something like that.
Yeah. Do a contract there while doing work camp.
We'll see.
While doing
we'll see what happens.
RVs with
utilities. 200 with utilities in Yuma, Arizona. Nice.
Wow.
Nice. So other options other than work camping, because I know maybe that's not your cup of tea, or you're finding difficulty finding those jobs. Other options for earning money on the road. FYI, YouTube does not pay.
No.
Unless you've been doing it for a really long time.
If you have a couple of videos that have like millions of views, then you'll get a nice little chunk of money. Yeah. But even with everything we've done, I think we might be able to cover like
the internet bill.
And so really and truly, most of me, I got a question the other day being like, why, like, I was about ready to buy this product and then I saw you had an affiliate link and then all your credibility went out the window. I'm like, are you kidding me?
He was not a troll.
He wasn't a troll.
He wanted to let you know, hey, dude, I don't like people pulling the wool over my eyes. So you get judged by people on YouTube when you're putting yourself out there. So if you're not one to want that kind of attention and you're not willing to put in hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of time and effort, you're not gonna. Don't do YouTube.
Yeah.
Don't.
We want to do the.
Diana DeForest joining the chat. She says Yuma Hospital is a banner facility. I think they do seasonal. Awesome. I have done a banner facility, so I am all set to join any banner facility that wants to hire me. Yeah. I mean, I've done you do their training like once, and then you have that paperwork portion done, and you don't have to do it again at any banner facility. Yeah. You still have to do, updates and things like that. But that big packet of stuff. But a banner was a pretty good facility to work for. Are you looking for something?
Well, I was looking for my phone because you sent me that.
Is it still up there?
I didn't see it.
He's lost his phone.
Oh,
He'd lose his head if he didn't have it connected.
Well, I was wanting you emailed me that we got a that summary thing.
So YouTube sends summaries to us quarterly or monthly, I can't remember. And then they did this end of year one for this year, and I did kind of want to share it with you guys.
So this is something that most YouTubers will get, and it's like this.
It's all washed out.
It's all washed out. It's just this cool little, like...
They give you an overall
overview.
Summary of what your channel has done
now,
for the year.
This is, like... It shows out how much people... So, we joined YouTube 2,800 days ago. Yep. For this channel.
It's just when I got on Google.
We've had 7,600 likes. And 19,000 comments.
2,500 shares.
We gained 952 subscribers this year, which is cool.
Almost 1,000 subscribers in one year.
Now, this is the one... Where was it? Is it that one?
That's the end.
Viewers spent... no. There was one that showed how many minutes I think you uploaded. Was that one?
Yeah.
Where was that?
Hold on.
Sorry,
you're scrolling too fast here. Let's see. So we did receive about 4,200 likes, and we responded 1,800 times to our community. No, it doesn't say how many hours that we uploaded.
I thought it said something about. I thought it said something about. But if you just look at how much time goes into every minute of video that is uploaded,
it's a lot.
And then you look at what people that do this for a living make it at.
Yeah.
The effort you put out for the return you get, really, unless you have a channel that's taking off.
And you have a really special niche that a lot of people are flooding to your channel for that.
It doesn't. Yeah.
But what it does do is open you up to the chance to meet great people like we are doing. This is why we do it mostly.
Yeah.
And this chance to create affiliate stuff. But you don't have to have a YouTube channel to do affiliates.
Yeah.
You can go and do Amazon affiliate and spread it through YouTube or email or, not YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, just emailing your friends. And it's a really great and helpful tool to use YouTube to kind of push those products out, say, like we did with the Fixed app. We've been able to use the Fixed on our personal vehicles. Then he's done a video on it. He's done a review a year later. And now we've been able to be in contact with the Fixed company themselves. And so we are both on Amazon for the Fixed, getting affiliate from that, as well as now with the Fixed company themselves. So it's you can do that a little bit more with YouTube, but you don't have to put as much effort into the YouTube. And just focus on affiliate marketing.
So this is right there. There's it.
Oh, okay.
So we uploaded 3,985 minutes of content this year.
4,000 minutes.
Basically 4,000 minutes worth of content. Now, a lot of that is this kind of live stream stuff where you pretty much shoot it, let it go.
Thin Blue Lane RV Life has joined us.
It's About Time Now has joined us as well. Blah.
He's having a hard time with his speech today.
So if you look at that in opposed to, what like a person would make per hour, and then someone said over here saying, it's about an hour per minute of video minimum. Mm-hmm. Yeah, really and truly, a lot of that depends on how fast you edit. But
the faster you
1
edit,
to 2 hours per minute of
the
video.
type of video you edit could be just like this is not going to be edited. We're doing it live.
Yes.
And so it's just the hour of time we're putting into it. But yeah, you have the time to shoot it. You have the time that
to come up with the ideas, and
you have to brainstorm it first. You have to shoot it. You have to edit it. If you're fast on editing, great. If not,
yeah,
all of that.
It's a lot of time, and then so then you add that with how much an hour you make.
Yeah.
You would make. I mean, it's not even. You could probably make more working at McDonald's.
Going Green Mom pointed out that she had Amazon affiliate on her blog. That is another good way of making money. If you love to write, if you love to talk about things, start a blog.
Well, she said it didn't really work there, though. It depends on how. If your blog is really popular and getting a lot of people there, then by all means. I mean, I know that
well, if your blog is
Driving and Vibing does really well with a lot of that stuff.
If your blog is about, say like cooking, and you use certain tools, right? And you go on to Amazon and you make those all part of your affiliates. And then you market your affiliate products. Hey, this is the tools I use. Use this link to purchase your things on Amazon. And then you have your viewer base, or the people that are digesting your blog, your recipe, or how you did it, and they'll just go and purchase those items. So
you can really, if you understand how like affiliate marketing works, and you understand the marketing side of it, it can be very beneficial, and it could become passive income.
Yeah.
Which is one thing we really are trying our hand at right now.
So what is passive income? Passive income is something such as you write a book, and then you put it out there, and you will continue to get purchases off of that.
Like
royalty for music,
royalty
for your book.
They're now considering the money you get from YouTube as royalties.
As royalty money. So that's a passive income. It continues to bring you in income, regardless of whether you're doing it or not.
And we have a couple videos that have enough views coming in that we're getting a steady income from it, but it's just not enough to cover any expenses, really.
X marks the spot says, Roger says, look into Coil to make money with your content. We will. Let me write that down. I'm a writer downer.
What does COIL stand for? If you could spell that out,
that'd be great.
Someone up here, I think Going Green Mom had been asking about, where was it? Investing. People that investments. We do invest, but we have an investment firm, and we're actually just using it for retirement, to build up our retirement. Yeah. So it's not really the income type investment.
But if you have that education and that know-how, that would be a great way to make income. Rentals is one that our lawyer's firm talks about creating. And didn't you say rentals are on the passive income side?
They're passive income,
so
and
you buy
can
the property,
write off all the expenses. Even if you don't, if you drop in the hole. Yeah. You can still write that off as a...
So his suggestion was you buy a property a year, and even if one rental property is in the hole, the others may be earning money, and then that kind of that deficit and what's not working well in that one property will be offset by the others. It's difficult for us to understand because we haven't been of that mindset, but a lot of people have learned real estate and are making a great income off of real estate. And
having real estate while you travel is really a form that, you're not doing anything besides, just making sure that the property is managed properly and that it's not just falling apart.
I had to go back. Going Green Mom said giggle, NOTB. So I went back. Nursing Our Travel Bugs comment was, I'd probably be better at passive aggressive income.
Thanks, Bill. You are definitely mildly entertaining. Go check out their merch for sale now.
Oh, yes. There's another way of income that a YouTube channel can push for you, is creating merch. So, yes, we may not be getting a lot of income from YouTube themselves, but your fan base may be all ready and set to purchase your t-shirt, your mug, your hat, your whatever you have. They want it because they love you and they want to blast it to the world.
So we can make a shirt like this and sell it to you. This is Diary of a Family right there. Or maybe up here.
Or your cute little slogan like nursing our travel bug. And I don't know if you have a link to your merch, if you have that yet. He says I am mildly entertaining, and that's their like funny little slogan that goes around on their channel. And people want that kind of stuff. And then it's so great because in the travel community, you'll be in some random state and see somebody wearing, like the Summer to Remember t-shirt from 2 years ago or 1 year ago. Oh, hey, you guys watch Mark and Trish as well off of Keep Your Daydream. Aren't they awesome? And then you have something in common. Yep. So that is another good way of bringing in income if you have a YouTube channel. So let's branch off into more of the education portion, because I know Grassroots Living's a teacher, and a lot of people that we've had on here are retired teachers or are teachers. Yep. I met Roz Smith, and she had a little cameo on our video on Wednesday, and she loves teaching ESL, so that's English as a second language. And you may not even have to have a whole lot of experience or a really expensive degree or something like that. There are a lot of sites that you can sign on to teach something that you know really well to other people online, and let them manage all of the electronic stuff and all of that. Music, for instance, you're a guitar player or drummer and you want to teach, do it over Zoom, do it over Skype. I think it's Nursing Our Travel Bug that they have an instructor from another country teaching their kids piano or something like that. Or another state, I know.
I think it's at least another state, yeah.
So if you have something that you can teach, maybe doing it over Zoom one-on-one. Now that is one type of income. If you want to make that a passive income, make videos and sell, or write a book, or find some way of creating a curriculum that people will buy from you, and that becomes a passive income.
Yeah, so we have a science program that we use, we really like, called Science Shepherd, and
it's home-based.
Home-based. They put it all on video. I don't know if they have any online portion or if it's all just like DVD right now.
So no, you can purchase the DVDs. Instead of that, you can do like an 18-month subscription online. So they have that online.
So that's a way, if you have a value that you can add, like a service, like something you can teach, then you can do an entire.
Grassroots Living says you can teach English to Chinese students via VIP Kids, VIPKIDS, all one word. I want to say it's about $10 an hour. So
but if you're semi-retired, that $10
and you love
an hour,
to teach,
we'll definitely pass that on to Roz, because I know she was looking at ways to do it.
Yeah. And until you can build up your own clientele. Yeah. I mean, $10 an hour is a little on the low side, but you can do it on your own time, and it's something you love. Yeah. And it's a way to pay the bills. So, okay. So VIP Kids, I'm going to pass that on to Roz, because she's not on this feed right now.
Well, and the nice thing with services like that is they show you and tell you and help you get everything connected, because she was just like, oh, I think I can use like Skype, but I've only used it a little bit. And I'm like, all these services, they have the whole infrastructure set up so that you log in, they log in, and then you teach. It's probably just as simple as that, as long as you have internet.
Let's see.
Someone's saying that they think it's more like $16 an hour for the VIP Kids. It could have been $10 at one point.
That's good. Good. I'm glad that it's a little higher, because that should pay more. You have this ability to teach another language. You should be able to.
Thin Blue Lane RV Life says, I was going to haul trailers like slow momentum does, but I have decided I don't want or need the liability and the wear and tear on the truck.
Yeah. You have to weigh the pros and cons for whatever you do.
There's extra expenses to almost anything.
But what's good is you can always try something, and then it's a gap job. That's what I heard recently. It's a gap job. It's a job that will get you from from one job to the next that the jobs that you really like, but it will help pay the bills. It'll give you some experience, something to put on your resume, and at some point it doesn't work for you anymore, don't do it.
Yep.
So Garrett has driven for Uber Eats because he didn't want to have anything to do with people.
But if for some reason the only downside with Uber Eats is that it's not really travel friendly.
Right. So we don't do that very much anymore.
Road. Welcome.
Hello. He doesn't do Uber Eats anymore because it is too hard to switch from city to city, state to state. You have to be in an area and get everything set up with Uber and the only place that was really using it here in our home base is Tyler, and it's 50 minutes away. So I mean, the time that he was spending on the road not doing Uber Eats and the gas, and then you have to think of the wear and tear on your vehicle.
Yeah.
So you have to think about, is this really working? Is it really helping me cut the bottom dollar?
Yeah.
And do I actually like it? So,
well,
I mean, if it's helping you just pay just the bills, but you really love the job, then keep doing it.
And a lot of it really comes down to what are your expenses, what debts do you have to pay up on, and all that kind of stuff really does pay in, kind of factor into it. But honestly, another way of saving money is how can you lower your expenses?
Yeah.
If you are living like really crazy, staying
really
at
crazy
Fort Wilderness,
going to the really ritzy RV
parks that are like 120 a night.
Parks, yeah.
Those kind of things will eat up in your money really fast. But if you find a nice park that's clean, that is decently priced, you'll be saving money off of what you would be paying in a mortgage. So
Thin Blue Lane said, but work camping lets you stay for free too, right? Most of them do have your housing covered. So, Garrett is shaking his head at something. Oh no, X marks the spot. Oh no.
So I need to put you in timeout.
This is a family friendly show, please. Don't read that comment. Oh my goodness. A male stripper, huh?
Watch.
Oh no, he removed your comment. We're not going to say any more than that.
Yep.
So yes, for work camping jobs, usually your housing is covered. I know for like this RV park, your first 16 hours of the week covers your spot, and then the hours above that are accredited towards the program that they have for the RV.
Well, and then I think there are some that are they pay.
Like if you've already gone through the course and paid for it, or you're not there to do it. But they tend to choose people who are planning to go through their course.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, my cheeks have gotten quite red. It is quite warm in here. It's only 78, but
we've had it like 80. We've had it like 87 in here before.
But I was wearing a t-shirt.
Yeah. Well, and it was like 90 degrees outside, so it was super hot.
It's been nice. It's been nice here today.
Yeah.
I think the kids went outside.
Oh, good. Okay. Oh. So, yeah, there are definitely a lot of options and a lot of flexibility.
Well, we haven't talked about online type jobs.
We haven't really talked much about the RV tech stuff. I mean, beyond.
Well, we're gonna be.
Yeah.
Garrett is going to start editing down his.
The Art of Tiny Living joined us.
Oh, hello.
Sorry. Hello.
Garrett's going to start editing down his footage of him going through these 5 weeks of RV tech training class.
Yep.
It may be right up your alley and you just didn't realize it. And don't count yourselves out, ladies. There are a lot of ladies who are doing this now.
There's actually a huge demand for women to be in the class. And honestly, the work itself is not that bad. They'll teach you to do everything you can. And the one of the cool things is that a lot of women that have gone through the course are starting concierge services.
Right, so you're not doing the heavy duty.
You're not dropping black tanks. You're not fixing hitches.
You're doing stuff like cleaning, detailing, stocking a refrigerator for a trip. Those things. Whatever you can imagine for an RV owner
Yep.
can be thought into a business.
Exactly. Well, and I think one of the benefits that COVID really showed people this year, and a lot of companies, was that there's so much of a lot of their work that can be done remotely. And I think that's why there's such a huge increase in the number of people that are interested in RVing, because, I was home for 6 months.
And I was still able to do my job.
Yeah, I was still able to do all the work. My dad was the same way. He was able to, do all his work at home, and he still is like, I'm going to just stay at home and do my work. As long as you guys are okay with that, then I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
So.
Jerome, I'm not even going to try to say your last name because I'll butcher it. But he's here, and he's a web developer, and he hopes to do some freelancing to go full time.
Yep.
This is exactly what I was talking about. A lot of jobs are directly on the computer, online. You have a client, it's IT work, or it's a designing somebody's website, or maybe it's, I don't know. You think it up, it can probably be turned into a job you can do in an RV.
Exactly. And definitely with anything web-based, as long as you have an internet connection, you can do your work here in an RV, wherever you're at. And I reached out to a couple of my friends that were web developers to try and see if they would want to make a short video. And we did have Jim Goodwin, I think his name is, join us. And that's Lisa from
Living Light RVs. Her parents joined us on our last video.
And he does some IT stuff, like web hosting, and we built our website through his hosting.
Yeah, so we when it comes down to it, if we can find an RVer who has a business, we're going to go through them first to support them. So our web designing is from an RV, full-time RVer. The decals on the back of our rig is from a family who was full-time. They've recently bought a house and settled down, but it didn't matter to us. Yeah. We have a relationship with them, and we wanted to bless them, and we'd already been working with her even before. A lot of people settled down when COVID hit. They all bought houses.
And these are people that we were traveling like, you've been...
They were on the road for 4 years, 6 years? A long time. But, you get to the point where it's the right thing to do to settle down again, so...
Jerome is asking, do you have the YouTube link?
The YouTube link for the video, our last video?
Are you talking about our last video, or I'm trying to think of what he's talking about for the YouTube link. We can probably pull up the link for you.
Yep, all of our Blue Wrench people here, if they know exactly what you're looking for, they could probably find that for you. Thin Blue Lane says they're at Thousand Trails Lake Medina until the 24th. And then you're moving on just before Christmas, huh?
We've heard that's a great place.
Yeah.
Thousand Trails.
Yeah, we haven't been there yet.
We've been to all the ghetto Thousand Trails.
All the ones that are falling apart. Well, I must say, Lake Whitney was pretty nice this year. Yes, they have done a lot of cleanup of the property.
We have noticed an improvement from our first time to Lake Whitney to our second time. So, yeah.
So I was thinking, one other,
do we use Ativan to keep the kids quiet?
No, we do not. It's called screen time.
Well, screen time, or the weather's not raining. It's not wet outside.
They just go outside and we pray that they don't kill each other or fall in the lake or something like that. No, they're pretty self-sufficient. Yeah. And they know for an hour, mommy and daddy shouldn't be disturbed, but they do. They disturb us sometimes. But most of the time, we know if there's a video playing, Eddie will sit still.
Yep.
And Timothy loves doing Minecraft, so we'll let him do his half hour.
And he was on restriction from Minecraft for a week.
Yeah, he was. So it was nice for him to be back. But yeah, I don't need to use... We use melatonin at night when they're super hyper, and we just need them to go to sleep. Yeah. Go to sleep.
Sometimes they just get wired, and most of the time it really and truly is when it's nasty weather and they can't go outside.
So I did want to talk about another option for full-timers for modes of income. I have done a little bit of research, talked to someone, did a webinar. There is the option of voiceover work, and There is a market for it. You would be surprised at how many jobs are out there for voiceover, and you don't need a huge setup to start doing that.
For the most part, we would have the basics of what we would need.
Yeah, all we would need to do is build like a sound box for our mic,
Yep.
So that we don't get any noises, feedback. So,
yeah.
There are some thoughts that you should do it on your own because the big companies that do voiceover work stuff, they're just there to gyp you out of your money. And then there's the other school of thought that if you don't use the big companies, you're not going to have a good demo and you're not going to get jobs because you haven't been set up to succeed.
Yeah.
Such a Voice is the company that I have researched and done a little bit and done a webinar, and had a 15-minute kind of interview with her, and she assessed my voice and gave a few pointers and said, if you'd like to do this, this is how much it's going to cost. And I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it's a little less than what we put into your RV tech training.
Yes. And honestly,
and-
I feel that if we could just come up with the amount of money that we need, like if we're doing a contract and the RV tech work, we can kind of just set that money aside and just be like, let's give it a try.
Yeah.
Maybe it's an investment. If it doesn't work out, then it's an investment. And we
it
have
will
some
only
experience.
encourage us further on our YouTube channel. That's where I kind of got the idea, because you were doing a video and needed a voice to kind of narrate it.
Yep.
And so I said, well, what do you want me to say? How do you want me to say it? And we did it a couple of times. And I obviously need coaching. I haven't had the speech coaching that
she doesn't have a
that you
trained
need,
voice, but she has a clean voice.
Yeah.
If
That's
you know
what I was told. I have a clean voice, and I have no problems with reading. If you struggle with reading, then maybe not so much.
Yeah.
Because you do have to read scripts.
Well, and if you're doing a lot of the voiceover work, I mean, they're looking for certain types of voices. So don't think that because you don't think you have a great voice, maybe they're looking for a gravelly voice for something, or maybe
the guy who does
for...
the Aflac Aflac, that guy. Yeah, not such a great voice, huh? But he's all over the place. You hear his voice everywhere. Aflac.
So, Blue Lane RV Life says, I do like your voice.
Thank you. It's really interesting. As a kid, hearing your voice recorded was like really strange. And even as you start doing YouTube, it's really weird to hear your voice recorded. But as you do it more and more, crazy. Like he'll have it playing and I'll be like, oh yeah, that's me. I don't even recognize that it sounds different. Like you think when you hear your voice recorded, it sounds different. You get used to what your voice sounds like outside your head. So
Jerome says, nice. I have French accents.
French accents. I can't do accents. I would love to do accents. They are so funny. But
so I mean, those are definitely things that we're looking at doing in the future, and it might even be something we try and delve into this year. Because we don't know where things are going, and the more that we can be self-sufficient and do contract work and just help out work where we're at, when we're there, I think that's really going to be a good thing for us.
Now, off topic just a tad, but what you have to have in the back of your mind as you're building these sources of income is to make sure that you're doing it properly, so that the government, the IRS has no reason to come after you.
Yeah.
And so having a good understanding of how to manage your income flows properly is going to be key. We're not going to get into that today, but we may, as we're learning so much about
I think that's a topic that we need to get really comfortable in what we're in our new kind of forms of income before we start talking about
maybe in about 6 months or so, maybe after next tax season, we'll be ready to start talking about how do you set up these multiple streams of income?
Well, and we definitely have to be careful in that because we're not CPAs and we're not attorneys. So anything that we would talk about, we definitely would suggest.
Please talk to your CPA. Please talk to your lawyer. Please.
Yeah. Honestly, going through lawyers and getting things set up properly is going to save you tremendously down the road. So,
Nursing Our Travel Bug said you could become a street performer. Do you know how to juggle?
nope.
You could be a birthday clown.
I can do that.
Does anybody do birthday clowns anymore? Clowns are like the kids of this age don't do clowns. Like
I could do the truffle shuffle. That's about it.
The truffle shuffle.
If anybody knows what that is from, let me know. No prizes involved, but hey.
Thin Blue Lane is saying they would love to get into voiceover and reading for audiobooks, and that is it. Everything is going to audiobooks, you guys. Yep. And so they need readers. They need people who can do that.
So it's also in the video game industry.
It's big, huge.
So, but that's why having your name out there with an agency is going to be key because they're looking at all the different areas and all the different fields.
They're going to give you coaching on how to make your voice better. They're going to help you set up your demo, which is basically your interview. And then they'll help you find sites where you can put your demo up there, and then people can go through, kind of like you upload video content or photos.
Yeah.
And people go in and search, oh, I want this photo and pay for it.
Yeah, they're looking for voice profiles.
They will look for your voice profile, and instead of, I have a little knock at the door. Instead of thousands of people that you're interviewing against, it'll be like 40 people because they're looking for a specific type of voice, and you'll fit into that category.
Yep.
So it's called Such a Voice is the one company that I've researched. I haven't researched anybody else. We haven't headed in that direction yet. But it is something on our radar that maybe I should get some voice coaching and do.
Well, and it was worth what, $5-10 that you spent?
$7 for the webinar.
Yeah, $7 for a webinar that really kind of you gotta kind of just test it out over a Zoom call.
Yeah.
And find out whether this is something that you might be interested in. Yeah. But yeah, just figuring just start researching it. Such a Voice is one. Yeah. Good Goonies.
Nursing Our Travel Bug, got it. If you do go onto Such a Voice and find their webinar and get signed up for that, be prepared. They want to see your face, and they're going to ask you to actually do some of the exercises. Yep. So be prepared to actually be involved, but it's usually a group of 5-8 people. They keep their webinars very small.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm not pushing them at all. I'm just saying that's the only experience I've had with voiceover companies.
Yeah.
To help you get set up with that.
So Scott Smith said, how about building engineer at a hospital? Their workload has also increased.
It's true. It's true. Hospitals will hire outside of, hiring permanent staff, all different types of people.
Yeah.
A building engineer, that's something I'm not even sure how you would go about finding hospitals that are doing temp work like that. Or if they do temp work, or if they just contract you.
Yeah.
I don't know. But housekeeping,
in every single field, there's their own set of ways to go about getting contracts.
I know that techs, and if you're any of the medical field type things, they have temps and doctors coming in. Locum is what they call it.
Yeah.
They'll come in and work for 2 weeks and leave, or work for 1 week and leave and come back. And they work in their home hospital, and then on that week that they're working locum, they go to this other hospital. And then they have nurses, they have techs, they have,
all kinds of stuff.
Radiology technicians, all kinds. So,
yep,
hospitals are one way, but again, you're going to run into having a contract that's super long. Again, work camping, it'll probably be for a season. And then if you can do anything online, fully online, then you're going to be more free to travel as long as you have that internet connection. So,
yeah. I mean, that one of the families that we first met that was a full-time family was our 18 Summers, and he did web building and hosting stuff. And so I think he started a company, and I mean, I don't want to go into his story, but that they were able to travel, and we met them in Washington, spur them, like we didn't even plan it, and we parked right next to them.
Yeah, it was really
crazy.
nice. I mean, they'd been on the road for 8 months, and so we were able to pick their brain and like, are we just absolutely crazy to do this with our family? And they're like, no, you can do this. It's totally able.
It is. There's so many different ways to do it, and there's so many means. I mean, the income. I think the availability of jobs that you can do on the road has really increased tremendously. And,
Nursing our travel bug is leaving.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. We miss you guys too.
Yep. One of the things I also heard, and I think Grassroots Living mentioned it in a video, was that you can always talk to your employer if you're doing a certain type of work that doesn't maybe require that you be physically present. Maybe you might be able to work something out that you can do that work remotely for them.
Yep.
And still keep your job. So you might not even have to change employers if you want to try and do this lifestyle as well. So there are so many different options. Get creative and just use, figure out how can I use what I have learned and my skills to. Hey,
you're an artist, but maybe your art doesn't sell all that well. I mean, maybe it does. Maybe that's how you go on the road. Use your art, but you can teach art too. If you do watercolors really well, you're an intermediate or an expert at watercolors, well, then teach beginner watercolors.
Yep.
I mean, there's ways to whatever you love to do and take it and run with it.
Yep.
Anyway,
well, we've been on for over an hour.
Oh my gosh. I am so sorry, you guys.
An hour and 20 minutes, but we have like 20 people in the video.
This has been such a great conversation. Those of you who are joining post-production, I should say, post-live stream, let us know if you have any questions or if you are doing something
that other people
that we haven't talked about.
Yeah.
I'm going to wait for the internet here. It was popping up. So if you're joining us later, let us know what you do to live full-time on the road, how you make an income. That would be great to just, get to know what are some other options that you can do. And then join us on Wednesday. Garrett, you haven't even started editing videos yet.
No.
He's like, I was ahead and now I'm behind.
This whole work camping and everything I'm doing here has been 9 to 10 hour days for me. Yeah. And then I'm coming home and I'm like, well, I need to do this video and I need to do that, and then I'm just like, it's been rough, but this still is only a season.
So Jerome is saying, I think it's hard to comprehend for diving into full-time since I assume I will need my full income to survive. That is up to you. It will cost as much or as little as you want it to survive.
Well, it also depends on, do you have a mortgage currently? Do you have, what kind of payments do you have? Because if you're like, I just need to get rid of a payment, and you're like, well, I want to keep my job, but like, what if I sold my house? That is a payment that will go away. Because for us, we wouldn't have been able to survive 3 months with no income having a house.
Yeah. I mean, unless we could have gotten renters in and had renters pay for the mortgage, but
we wouldn't have been making a ton, and probably wouldn't have been.
So it all comes down to, can you make your cost of living equal the money that's coming in with a little bit overhead? I mean, just go through your bills and what can you get rid of, or what can you downsize a little bit? It's all about downsizing. You downsize your finances. You downsize what you own, and you downsize your finances, and then you look at what you can do financially and just go for it.
And going off of what Going Green Mom just said, which actually is a good point, maybe start with some theoretical budgets. That's one of the big things we did.
He did it.
I did
to convince me.
Yeah, because we were, I kind of had this idea, and you can watch our 2-year anniversary video, and we went into detail on the trip that got us to this point in our lives. Yeah. And on the way back, we said, what if we did this full time? And we're like, can we even do it?
I was like, I don't think we can do it.
Yeah. So I went and I looked at what we paid a month and all of our utilities and all that stuff. And then I said, well, what if we traveled? What would our costs be? I'm like, well, this is what it costs for an RV park for a month. This is how much it would cost us probably to get there. And we just started doing the math, and then we realized, I'm like, we'd be spending less money on the road than we would, you know. So
I was like, okay, it is doable. That is if you have contracts back to back, which has been a little bit tricky for us. Thin Blue Lane, congrats. That's a big step. He says, I got rid of my Harley to downsize. That was hard. That is tough. I know a lot of people are really attached to their Harley Davidsons or whatever mode of transportation that they have. You know, you're like, I've got to have this. I want this motorcycle. And you save up for it. You buy it. You love it. It's your baby. And then you get rid of it. That's really hard. I felt like that, like after us getting our house all pretty and nice for sale, I was like, I don't want to leave it. I want to keep our house.
But we left our house in a better condition than when we bought it.
And
so
that's how we try to live our lives.
Yeah.
That we are always benefiting those who follow us, or, you know, leaving something better than you found it.
Well, and also cost-wise, Art of Tiny Living, said boondocking is cheaper than RV campgrounds. And so, you know, if you're willing to make the sacrifices and the effort that it would take to boondock, you could save even more money because you're not paying monthly, you know. And so there are definitely ways to cut costs, and there's so many different options. But
the only thing you can't get rid of that's really expensive is the health insurance. It is a bugger.
Yes, that is our highest cost so far. Is our
biggest bill monthly is our health insurance. But we are so thankful for it. I mean, I took Emma to urgent care. We had to pay out of pocket, but that was okay. But, you know, the medication she needed was half price. The medication that I got for Edison was half price. Our dental appointments have been covered. Our doctor's visits have been covered. So, I mean, health insurance has its pluses for having it.
Yeah.
So.
Drum says that they and I don't own a house so much more.
Yes.
So, yes.
It is so easy if you don't own a house to, like, offload stuff. It's just stuff that you're getting rid of, right?
Yeah. So I didn't see Bridget join us.
She's probably getting ready.
Okay.
Our friend Bridget has been here in the campground. She's getting ready to head to visit friends out of state, and so.
Well, she said I had to.
You have to show it. I mean, it was in the video at the beginning. You guys, he had a cute little intro that he made with the kids this morning.
I'll share it in just a minute, and then we'll go on to our outro.
He can show that again. But,
so while Carolyn was out having some adult time this morning, which
at a women's gathering.
Hello, RV Underway.
With masks and all.
Yeah. So I actually went and I built this.
Ain't that cute? So we did have a kit for a fifth wheel. And all the parts are all.
And that is this piece right here.
That's that piece right there. I'm sure some of the other pieces are from it as well.
Probably a few.
But he just took random pieces from the box and made a fifth wheel. Ain't that cute?
So, and Eddie's been playing with it all day and absolutely loves it. So, anyways,
if you want him to build you an RV.
And it even is the right size.
Yep.
There's a Lego guy in there. So, technically it does work, but I will play that video, especially since probably a lot of you didn't see the little intro we did
at the beginning.
We'll do our outro, and then you guys can watch that, and we'll be done for the night.
So those of you who are just joining us, like RV Underway, this whole talk has been really great. Just batting around ideas for what you can do on the road to earn money. It is well worth the watch.
Yeah.
And we'd love to hear your comments about what you do.
Thank you for everyone who joined and gave tips and advice, especially like Grassroots Living, X Marks the Spot. All of our Green Mark people were giving us great advice.
Yeah. So, I mean, Grassroots Living always puts out great videos on their review of whether or not they want to go back and why to these work camping jobs. So.
Yeah.
All right, you guys.
All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And as always,
live life intentionally. We love y'all.
Bye, everybody.
Hi, I'm Emma. And I'm Timmy. And we are Diary of a Family. And we're going to have a great live stream today with you. And I'm Madison.